Hey.
Take three. Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
Now, you were telling me the stuff on your wall was from your grandparents, your grandfather's
My
attic?
grandfather and my great grandfather,
Oh, that's cool.
carpenters.
That is cool.
Most people don't find it friendly.
Well, it is kind of intimidating, yeah. I have to agree. I thought they
I
were
might
just
be
like
though.
you run a torture chamber or something in your basement.
That's what I do over
There we
here.
go. All right. Well, Eric, how are you doing, my main man?
He is doing incredible. He said, "I love you, Mom." He said hi to everybody who's watching. He said he's got a lot of ideas up his sleeves.
Good. Ideas
Yeah,
for
he
this video or?
no, he said for beyond the video. And he said,
Oh.
stay tuned later. He goes, you'll
Ooh.
find out about it then.
Okay. Sounds good. Oh, hang on. I got to get Bella, but I want you to pick. Do you want to talk about vulnerability or how to let go of fear? Either of you
Ooh,
guys
how to
can
let go
pick.
of fear.
All right. Let me go get Bella.
Catch the dog.
Okay.
Oh,
There we go. All right. She really wanted her
baby.
mommy. Say hi to everybody.
Oh.
Hi.
He goes, Mom, do super dog.
Super dog. All right. So you say fear? You want to talk about letting go of fear?
How to let go of fear.
Because, yeah, that's a good topic today because we are so fearful right now with what's going on in the world. I mean, it just seems like we're not as safe as we were. I don't know if that's true or not. But I always get fearful comments from blog members. Can you ask what's going to happen in September or whatever? And then there was the whole 2012 thing. And, is the world going to end? Is this meteor going to get us? All that. We are so entrenched in fear in our society. Take it away.
He said, thank you very much. He acts like he has a microphone.
Do a mic drop. There we go.
He has his hands up in the air. Oh, letting go of fear. As easy as dropping a mic.
There we go. Nice segue.
Thanks, he said. He's taking several different kinds of fears. There's the fear that's kind of like a phobia.
Okay.
Spiders, shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
phobias. And then we have the fear almost in the world of what if, almost like a conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
This big thing is going down. And then we have more of a fear of protection, like a survival mechanism.
Yeah.
And he says, I think that's the one that's most heightened these days because we have so many of the conspiracies, so many of the that didn't make sense. He's talking about terrorism. He's talking about the ISIS group. He's talking about individuals who are. Eric, you have to either just stand still, take a breath, and talk.
Too much coffee.
He goes, you've had too much coffee.
I have never had enough coffee. Are you kidding me?
He says, and then there are those people who don't feel safe enough in their environment that they kind of go a little crazy. There's people who will collect the guns and feel like they have to take things in their own matter, take hands in their own matter. And he said, that's all driven out of fear as well. Fear that somebody else can't take care of them. And we're noticing more of that because of these new war tactics or fight tactics that the terrorism has kind of brought to TV marketing and has really used the if you're afraid of me, then I have control over you.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a lot more in the public eye, to create mass fear. And it's kind of feeding some of the other conspiracies and I don't feel safe fear, but it's not really driving the phobia fears because all that's just kind of fucked up and each one has its own good story.
Yeah.
With letting go of it, we talked about it a while ago. He won't stand still. I'm just going to look down.
Eric, you're going to make her dizzy.
We talked about it a while ago. When you're letting go of fear, you need to recognize what you're responsible for. Do you have control over what other people do to you? No. But do you have control on how you'll react? Or do you have control over how to protect yourself, how to communicate what your needs are? And he says that's very important. But I think there's a really big fine line if we're going to talk about letting go of fear and then adapting to risk management, because people can really lose their fucking minds trying to risk management everything, because then they think that they don't have enough and they have to be prepared for the world collapsing for their own survival. There needs to be a little bit more understanding with the strength and the value of energy that holds us. His hand gestures are really big today.
Oh,
Again,
really?
it's one of those days where you recognize just like how
Long
he
and lanky?
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
I mean, he's got a big wing spread.
Yeah.
If we get too wrapped up in risk management and don't identify the common thread, the common energy that runs through everything, and that there is so much more truth to accepting all that is rather than accepting right and wrong, that to really let go of fear, we'll have to look at our belief systems.
What do you mean, the energy that runs through it?
The energy runs through all of us. That's what makes us all the same, Mom.
So you're saying concentrate on that being a part of all that is instead of an individual? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, but he says I also think that messes with people's heads quite a bit because the concept is a little bit too large to believe in.
Sure. And impractical to use on a daily basis.
And right, and who wants to feel like they're connected to ISIS? Who wants to feel like they're connected to the guy who came into the school with a gun and killed 14 people? He was like, not many, right? Yeah. Not many. But there needs to be a kind of bottom line understanding that we all come from the same source. And then if we can finally see that there is no true right or wrong, negative or positive, that it is what it is, then we can accept that.
That's a tall order.
He's going off on a rant too. Like, you're gonna get some letters from this.
Oh God. No more hate mail, please.
Come on. He goes, and the hate mail turns into understanding, and then he's trying to make a good twist out of it. But when we can, he's got his hands up here, when we can really grasp like how we see ourselves, how we define ourselves, then we can start to recognize that we're safe no matter what. Fear, whether it's in the belief system, mental, is not needed to motivate. It's not needed to create an answer. In fact, it hinders, it anchors, and it gets in the way, and it creates being paralyzed where you can't have a reaction. So let's say if you're a mom and you're afraid, ever since you had your babies, that you're afraid that your kids are going to die in a car accident. Like, that's just always been on your mind. He goes, I would say, okay, first of all, your kids aren't even old enough to drive, so set it aside. And then when they get old enough, why don't you decide what kind of car lessons they're going to take, and maybe they take in a defensive driving course before you allow them to even get their permit, or you hold it a year back. He said, just come up with some kind of plan that you can implement when it comes time, so you feel like you do have some sense of awareness wrapped around it, and it's kind of partially risk management, but you're not changing your whole life, to allow it to be. There's some level of belief, and I think some people would like to use the word faith, but we're not all faith-going people, even though I think it's a great label of allowing all that is to be. Mm-hmm. I think it's a great word, but most people see it as being a religious word. And then we get into emotional fear, where it kind of falls into anxiety or shuts down our ability to express what we're feeling, what our emotions are. And my little tidbit of information, my two important sense is that when you start having the fear reaction, I feel that means you need to step in closer, because you're obviously standing in the fucking dark. And when you're in the dark, you can't see shit and you don't know what it is. And so, of course, it creates way too much mystery. And that fucks with you right there when you don't know shit, but you're standing close to it. And that can create fear. I say go a little deeper. If it's a logical fear, ask for more information. Ask if it's reasonable. Ask if you're in control of it. Ask if you're fucking responsible for it or not. Get closer to it. Ask if it's emotional fear. Is it reasonable? Where is it coming from? Why are you being triggered in this way? Is it that you don't want it to happen and it is? Fucking get over yourself then. It is happening. Manage it in the moment, and then it's not going to be so overwhelming. A lot of people go into the fear mode because they don't want to accept what's really happening. You know what a lot of fear is also created? I have to get so close. A lot of fear. This is close up. A lot of fear is based on when people say they don't want something to happen, that it would scare them if they were to lose all their money. Oh my God, if I lost all my money, I don't even know who I would be. If I lost my job, oh, I'm so afraid of losing my job. And then guess what happens?
It happens.
Yeah, they fucking lose their job.
What is it, law of attraction type thing? You put it out in the universe and it comes back to you? Yeah.
Absolutely. You put so much focus on it that it's going to happen.
Yeah, that happened to my one of my nurses. She, even when I was little, when she worked for my parents, she just knew she was going to get colon cancer. She had them check her all the time since she was in her 20s, and guess what she died from? Colon cancer. So it does happen.
That's amazing. And he said, yeah, it's messed up because if you know this, like we're telling you, it happens this way. That's how easy it is to manipulate and move and change energy. Like you're having a thought right now about what you're watching, right? You're having thoughts just bounce through your head. How easy it is to have that thought. So fucking easy, right? Well, just as easy for you to think about the same thing every day. You're going to build it and make it happen to yourself. So wouldn't you want to be able to ask yourself, hey, is this even reasonable to be afraid of? Does this, is there any validity to it? Am I in control over it? What's my responsibility for it? What kind of steps or process can I put around this to help me understand it better or emotionally connect to it better? It's really nice when you die. You don't get caught up in all the fear.
No. It must be nice.
He said, I also think it's pretty fucked up that when that's his word today. Whew.
Ooh.
He laid off of it for a little while, but
yeah, and then he gets back.
He's really passionate about this. There's certain topics.
Uh-huh.
But he says when we watch people on Earth, right? We'll watch the ones that are completely in love. Everything's going great. They're laughing. All their needs are fulfilled. Are they fucking motivated? Most of them? No. Because they got what they need. They're chilling. They're kind of flatlining. But then we watch the ones that have fear. They're afraid of something. Are they motivated? Most of them, yes.
Some of them are paralyzed, I'm sure.
The rest of them are totally fucking paralyzed, stuck in concrete. Oh, what to do? They play the victim, they stay in fear, and they build a life on it. And of course, if you build your life on whatever platform, it's going to stay on that. It's not like it's going to move off of it.
Well, so I guess what you're saying is the larger impractical concept is that think that we are part of all that is, and the fact that we are eternal beings does help mitigate fear if you're able to put that idea in your mind and really truly hold that as your truth. And then But then the fact that there's no right or wrong, that no matter what happens is always a lesson or just an experience that we're meant to have. But then there's the practical things of, ask yourself questions, see if you can find some way to manage it or control. What are you responsible for? In other words, don't let whatever you're afraid of control you, but you find some way to have your own control over the situation or idea. Is that what you've pretty much been saying?
Ding!
Okay.
You got it.
All right. Anything else? Well, we've talked about social anxiety. That's another type of fear. So if you guys want to go see that, it's somewhere in the YouTube channel. On the YouTube channel. Okay. So what if you're afraid because your kid goes to school and there could be a terrorist attack there? Let's just give one more example.
So, are you in control over that?
No.
No. Do you know all the rules and regulations and boundaries that the school has in place in case that were to happen?
Well,
probably not.
Yeah.
So, first thing I would say is march your ass down to the school, set up a meeting with principal, the principal, and ask the principal, okay, what's in place? Who can just walk on campus? And are you going to change those rules? And could I vote for you to change those rules? And could we have a meeting with the teachers so that they're all informed? And you can set up kind of those slight risk management answers so that everybody's on board, everybody knows what to do. And then that right there might calm your fear, it might take it away completely. But if you're still obsessing over it, then I would like to say to look at what's the real cause of you feeling as if your child is going to be in that danger? Is it that you really don't like the school and you want them moved and you're looking for an excuse? Because people use fucked up thoughts like that all the time to motivate a change. They believe it's real and they're like, well, we have to go to a different place now because of this.
True.
But really you wanted it all along. Is it that you... I didn't make sense. Is it that when you had the baby, that he was really sick when he was little and he almost died and now you think he's just going to almost die in any given situation? Maybe it's not about the terrorist stuff at all. Maybe you're afraid the school's going to catch on fire and they don't have appropriate windows in the classroom for him to get out. And so then you would look at your child and say, how do you leave in a fire? What do you do if this happens? What do you do if that happens? And empower them with the information on how to maintain their own safety.
Okay. Now, one more thing about fear before we close. We talked about phobias, and there's a story for each one. Afraid of balloons, clowns, heights, spiders. Me, roaches.
Ugh.
Yuck.
I think phobia stories are the best because we really should do a collection of phobia stories.
I know. Do you think most of them are related to other lives?
Yeah.
Like the fear of drowning and things like that?
Oh, absolutely. Because most of the phobias, you can't find any rooted cause in this life for the fear, and that's why they call it a phobia, that it doesn't have real purpose of being a fear in this life. But, maybe, God... He goes, Mom, maybe you were like dipped in sugar and buried alive and the cockroaches just licked up all the sugar on you. I was like, God,
it's actually lick and not bite. This is just gross, man. Now, seriously, why do I not like roaches?
He's showing another lifetime. It doesn't even have to deal with the roach, but you were so young that you thought that it was the roach that killed. There was disease, like, when the rats came and everything, but there were roaches there, and everybody was saying that when the roaches show up at your house, then that means the death. Totally mislabeled, but you carried straight through that roaches actually mean death for you.
Wow.
Disease, awful stuff.
Disgusting, man. What about you, Eric? You were always afraid of heights. Why? He
shuddered.
Well, I guess you're not anymore.
I was just saying, look how high you up are now. Like, what? He goes, oh yeah, because heaven is up on the clouds.
Yeah, right.
Heart. Is no, when I think about it still in a human sense, I'm not comfortable with that at all. I don't like the balconies. I don't like looking over the rails, looking out the windows. He goes, oh my God, standing up on the building with the clear floor?
Oh, that would be not good. No. Mm-mm. At the Grand Canyon? Yeah. Ugh.
No, 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 no. He's just saying no, no, no.
So, was there
Still,
something in another life that happened to you?
yes.
Okay. What was it?
Oh, he's showing me, oh my God, tell me the name of that. It's not an airplane. Hydroplane?
Oh,
Hydroglide?
one of those
Oh, but it is so, so old. It's made out of like
dirigibles. The dirigibles,
wood. You
like those
run.
things filled with helium or whatever, or what?
No, there's no helium on it. It definitely requires like a gliding of some sort.
Is it a single person thing?
Just one
Okay,
person
so
in
like a
it.
hang glider,
Like a hang glider.
or like one of those, or one of those
Really?
that have seats in it.
No.
All right, but something like that, but no engine.
No engine, no engine. It's
Oh,
super old, like canvasy, like wood. Like
okay.
old.
When was this?
Horsing around. He was a man, skinny man. Where were
Hmm.
you?
Yeah.
France and Italy, over in Europe.
Okay.
It was the age of inventing.
Oh,
Uh,
what was that? The 1900s?
he's showing me earlier than that, probably 1800s.
Okay. And
Did
so what
not do
happened
so
to you?
well.
Did
He
you
fell.
die?
Yeah. Fell off of it.
Wow. How high up were you?
Oh, we're looking over a cliff. It reminds me of actually the cliffs in South America and Brazil. They
Mm-hmm.
have these huge waterfalls and drop-offs because it's really lush. It's very green. There's not a lot of houses. They're testing something. It's supposed to be fantastic. Not fantastic. Didn't work.
Yeah. Oh well.
Fell.
But look at that. You're an eternal being. You're still here.
Made it.
You made it.
Because no matter how many ways I die, he says I continue to make it, don't I?
Yeah, and that's true of all of us. So maybe that will, remembering that, maybe that will help assuage your fears, people. We always make it out alive. Always.
Always make it out alive.
Throughout eternity. All right. Anything else, Erik?
I love you. 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 He's saying to everybody in the camera who's watching, I
Oh,
love
we
you.
love you too.
I'll haunt your ass later.
Yes, mine too, please. Bye.
He says bye.
See ya.